going to show you some different ways to stretch the ankles. Now the ankle is a complex area. It actually, what we call the ankle, actually is an intersection of 3 joints. The actual ankle itself does basically flexion extension. Okay, so this type of movement up and down. I showed you a stretch in a different video where you're doing plantar flexion, dorsiflexion. Okay, so that's the dominant action at the ankle. However, and that's a hinge joint. However, we have also gliding joints that allow this type of movement. Okay, here, or this type of movement, or these types of movements. Okay, so when you consider all the ranges of movement, the ankle is actually very complex. And if we're only working at, say, at this angle, we're not necessarily preparing the ankle for all possibilities. So this is really going to be relevant for athletic movements and daily life. We don't want this to happen. Okay, so if you're an athlete and this happens, that's probably going to lead to at least a strain, maybe even a break or a separation. However, you need to prepare the body for the possibility so that if it does happen, you can sort of roll with it. So you have that, it's partial flexibility, but a lot of it has to do with the nervous system and how you respond to force at different angles. Anytime we tighten up, that's where you're really going to get injuries. So the idea is by developing these ranges, you develop more confidence and really smarter ankles that are able to adapt to changes in terrain. Okay, so what we're going to do here is you're going to stand on one leg and you're going to work lateral to the outside and just kind of roll. And as you get warmer, you will put more and more weight on that foot. Okay, and you need to do many reps. I'm just showing you a few. You do this to both sides. Okay, so you're really getting into this area. And then you put your weight on one leg. Now you come to the medial towards the inside and you roll. Now the ankle and foot is not as flexible in this direction. You may also feel it in the knee, but it shouldn't hurt. Okay? So again, you're preparing those ligaments and tendons. Same thing here. Okay, now you can start walking or just going from one foot to the other. You're walking on the outsides of the feet. And as you start getting used to this, you start relaxing and your body becomes more pliable, more supple. Okay. Same thing here. Again, you have to be more cautious. So you're walking on the inside of the foot. Now, if this is a little bit too much for you, you also can just go against the wall and lean on the wall with one hand so you can control the amount of body weight. Okay, same thing here. So you also can use a wall to assist you. Try to feel it working. Okay, now, progress further, you can get more dynamic. Okay, for example, stand on the sides of my feet. Now I'm squatting. Okay, so even squatting here. Again, it's going to get into the hips and the knees as well, but it's not strength training, but I'm preparing my body. Okay, and I can start rocking. Okay, rocking back and forth. I can be more dynamic here if I want. Now, I'm not saying that you should do this, but it's just to show you. Okay, even at 46 years old, I still have that pliability just because I learned how to do it. So you can learn how to do it too. Okay, and makes it harder to roll your ankle. If this happens, you can kind of adjust to it. Okay, a lot easier than if you're not used to it. Okay, same thing here. You start extending the ranges of motion. Ankles, the knees are going to be kind of secondary there, a little bit in the hip. Okay, so you're not overdoing anything. Okay, come down on one leg, you see. Come down on the other leg. I can even try to put my feet together, put the bottoms of my feet together. And again, develop that comfort in these extreme ranges. Okay, from there, it's going to point the toe and you want to do some rolling circles. kind of roll over the top of the foot, both directions. Now, any of this, if you're having difficulty with the balance, you can always support yourself a little. Okay? So these are some more ideas about how to prepare the ankles. Of course, these types of movements, coming up and down, more dynamic, get into the Achilles tendon, okay, the heel. So all of these types of movements are going to be great for you if you're doing any type of athletics.